Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today, we're talking about the NFC West and the Divisional draft. So, I'm starting to do these Divisional drafts up until the final day of the draft, obviously. And in between videos, there'll be, different rankings of different positions in the NFL draft. So, if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell to be notified when I post next. I'm going to try and post as much as I can. Life is just a little busy right now. I'm renovating my house. So, I'm just constantly doing stuff. But I do want to say, the day of the draft, April 27th at 5 p.m., I am going live for the entirety of day one of the draft, and I'm going to have reactions, predictions, fun stuff that I'm going to be doing the entirety of the draft. So if you guys are interested in that, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell when I do go live. I can't wait. I'll be going live on this YouTube channel. So yeah, let's get into the video. So starting off with my Arizona Cardinals mock draft. So the Cardinals are currently at number 3 overall. I think everyone can agree that in the draft, either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud will go number 1 overall, and the other guy will go number 2. Right now, I think CJ Stroud will go 1, and then I think that Bryce Young goes number 2. If that is what happens, I won't be surprised. I believe I actually have $5 on CJ Stroud going number 1, and this is like 2 months ago I put the money on that. When the Colts did get when the Bears got the number 1 overall pick, I said I think CJ Stroud's gonna get it. I think they're gonna trade back because I think no matter what, the 2 quarterbacks going number 1, number 2. So the Cardinals are at 3, right? The Colts are at 4. Everyone knows they're gonna try and take a quarterback, and if Shane Steichen has his way, it's gonna be Anthony Richardson. But I think they also might go with a non-mobile quarterback, really, and might go with Will Levis. So if that does happen, teams will be calling for number 3 overall. If they want Anthony Richardson, you got to call the Arizona Cardinals. If you want Will Levis, you got to call the Arizona Cardinals. Because I think the Colts are going to let off a lot of smoke shows saying, we don't know which quarterback we want. So you better trade up to number 3 overall so you can get whatever quarterback you want. We're fine with whatever option we get at number 4. So I think there will be a bidding war for number 3 overall, making the Las Vegas Raiders trading up from number 7 to number 3, giving up 2 first-round picks, including number 7, and their 2 third-round picks this year for number 3 overall and 2 fifth-round picks. Now, since the Cardinals do trade back, number 3, I believe, went Will Levis. Number 4 went Anthony Richardson. Number 5 went Will Anderson Jr. And I believe number 6 went Jalen Carter. And so at number 7, I said, you know what? I'm the Arizona Cardinals. Get me Tyree Wilson. You don't got J.J. Watt anymore. He retired. You don't got Zach Allen anymore. He went to the Broncos. Chandler Jones is aging. You should probably cut him at this point. Not Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is on the Raiders. He's on the Raiders. You already lost Chandler Jones. You don't really have a pass rusher anymore. Get your premier stud pass rusher in Tyree Wilson. I think Tyree Wilson is a prototypical starting defensive end in this league. And for a defense where he's going to be the main option or only option on Jonathan Gannon's defense, who is a defensive-minded guy, I think he's going to make Tyree Wilson succeed to his best ability. Next up, at 34, I take DeJuan Jones. I think DeJuan Jones is the best right tackle in this class. And the Cardinals are currently starting Kelvin Beachum at right tackle at 32, 33 years old on a 1-year deal. Get DeJuan Jones, who will probably beat him out day 1 training camp. And he's your franchise. That's your franchise right tackle. He's 6'7", 330 pounds. He's amazing in the run blocking and pass blocking department. And he's not going to be available at 34. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to take DeJuan Jones. I think DeJuan Jones makes the most sense for the Cardinals. I guess he is 6'7", and you want, smaller offensive linemen for a smaller quarterback than Kyler Murray. But, like, the best right tackle in the class is available at 34. You take him. And at 66, I grab Garrett Williams. Garrett Williams is honestly one of my favorite corners in this class. He's an outside corner, can run zone and man, although he's definitely more of a zone-heavy corner. And in Philadelphia, they did run a lot of man defense, but they also ran a lot of zone as well. So I think Garrett Williams, he plays exactly to what Jonathan Gannon wants. He's tall, lengthy, kind of like James Bradbury and Darius Slay. And I really like Garrett Williams on the boundary. And you don't really have any boundary corners anymore. You let Byron Murphy walk. You only have Jalen Thompson and Budda Baker in the secondary that you trust. Grab Garrett Williams, and he starts for you day 1. And then Nick Herbig, same thing, a really good power rusher out of Wisconsin. Again, probably won't be available at pick 70, but in my mock draft he was. Grab him. Again, add more starters to this defensive line, because this defensive line needs a complete reboot. And I think that Nick Herbig is exactly the kind of guy that Jonathan Gannon would really like. Kayshon Boutte at 96. Yes, his stock has been dropping significantly the entirety of the postseason. not I mean the postseason and the draft season. He's basically like a 5th round pick at this point. Everyone is opinions of. But I think Kayshon Boutte is definitely worthy of a 3rd round pick. You know, he's a guy that I said was a top 5 receiver. Tested out terribly. Had a bad pro day. Had off the field issues as well. Got kicked out of LSU basically if he didn't go to the draft. So yes, there's definitely off the field issues. But on the field, I think he's good enough to be your 3rd receiver. You have Marquise Brown. You have Rashad Bateman. Not Rashad Bateman. Oh, my Lord. You have Rondale Moore. Now you have Kayshon Boutte. That's a pretty decent 3-man wide receiver group. And I think that with Kyler Murray or whatever quarterback starts for the majority of this year, grabbing another weapon in the 3rd round that can start for you is really important. And the 4th, 3rd round pick of this team, I grabbed Kobe Turner, who I think is one of the most underrated D tackles in this entire class. Really good run stuffer and has high upside in the pass rushing ability. So I think Kobe Turner, again, would start immediately on this Cardinals defense. Grab J.L. Skinner in the 4th round. He's only in the 4th round because he either tore his ACL or he tore his Achilles. I can't remember which one it was, but he has an injury to his foot. So as a reason he slipped all the way to the 4th round. But this was a 2nd round guy. He was the 2nd best safety in this class at one point. But he got injured, slipped. So if you can get him in the 4th round, that's a high upside guy. You let him rest for a year, or if he gets healthier later in the year, let him play. But he's a guy that if you can't re-sign Jalen Thompson this year, he can replace Jalen Thompson in the secondary. He can definitely be your free safety. Then Chandler Zavala. I really like Chandler Zavala. In the 6th round, he's really good value. I think that he can definitely start for you at guard. This entire offensive line is just bad, and they're all old and aged veterans. Get Chandler Zavala. He's 6'5", so not too tall for an offensive lineman, and I think he's really good in pass blocking because you're a team that hasn't really run blocked a whole lot, really. You don't really do a lot of running in the run game. So I have a good feeling about that team. If they can get a Chandler Zavala, 6'5", nothing too big, nothing too small, good in the middle. Same with Richard Garage. He's also a 6'5" tackle out of Florida. Mainly a backup. I didn't really watch any tape on him. I did watch tape on Chandler Zavala. He is the real deal. In the 6th round, he can definitely start for his team. They gave me an A-. I actually do kind of agree with that. I don't think I'd go any higher than an A. The trade back was good. You get a franchise pass rusher, franchise right tackle, really good corner, really good edge, solid wide receiver 3, a good starting D tackle, a high upside safety, a starter level guard, and a pretty decent backup. That's definitely a really good draft. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible starters on this Cardinals team. If you can walk away with 8 possible starters, that's a successful draft. Next up, I have the LA Rams. Now, this team doesn't have any 1st round picks, obviously, but they have a lot of late round picks, so I decided to make the most of it. Don't trade up, just let all the picks come to me. So at number 36, I grabbed Steve Avila. Now, I do want to make sure it's known, I try to not draft guys over and over again in all my mock drafts. So like Garrett Williams, yes, I drafted him in 2 drafts in a row, and it's going to happen every once in a while where I really like a guy, so I think this team could use him. But just if I was this team, this is what I would do. Steve Avila at 36, you don't have any interior offensive lineman that I would keep on the roster. You got Rob Havenstein, and you got Joe Noteboom, who's pretty decent tackle starters. So grab Steve Avila, who I think comes in, starts for you day one. Insert him at left guard or right guard. No matter what, he's going to succeed. Really good pass protector. Really good run defender. I really like Steve Avila. Then again, Garrett Williams, outside corner. He can start, man, zone, lengthy. Really like him. I believe this is the exact pick that you got back from the trade for Jalen Ramsey. But I think it's actually 77 you got. But at 77, you grab a starting defensive lineman. I think Carl Brooks could play that nose tackle. You have Aaron Donald playing, defensive end D tackle. They run a 3-4. So it's actually a 5-man lineup usually. But I think Carl Brooks could play that 3 tech. And I think Yaya Diaby could play the defensive end position. I'm really high on Yaya Diaby and Carl Brooks. Carl Brooks is definitely more that nose tackle. Yaya Diaby more of that speed rusher. I like both Louisville defensive ends. Him and Yazir Abdullah. You guys are going to see in a lot of my mock drafts. I'm very high on both of them. I think if they both can get to the LA Rams, they both can start. I think they lost Greg Gaines. I think they lost Bobby Brown the fourth. So you lost your nose tackle and your defensive tackle, who helped Aaron Donald. So you get Carl Brooks to replace the nose tackle, Yaya Diaby to play the pass rusher, and then you got Antonio Mafi in the 5th round. Antonio Mafi, I'm very high on Antonio Mafi. Again, really good run blocker. Could definitely be better in the pass blocking, but really good mauler in the run game. Does get a little beat up on stunts with the power rushers, but if you don't rely on him solely, put him next to Joe Noteboom. I think he'd be really good because Joe Noteboom's been a pretty decent run blocker. So you put them next on the one line. That's a really good side of the offensive line for the run game. Then I grab Stetson Bennett. I think this would be a really fun pick. Stetson obviously had a lot of success in college, 2 national championships. Going into the LA Rams, I think he can either be your eventual successor to Matt Stafford, give him, a year to start, see what happens, or is a really quality veteran backup. Like, I mean, he's 25 years old, 24 years old, going into the NFL, and he's won 2 national championships. Let the guy be your permanent backup, or maybe give him a season once Matthew Stafford retires. Give him a season to start. See what happens. And I think you can actually really succeed with Stetson Bennett, because I think Sean McVay would make the most out of him. Because I think he has all the tools you would want in a guy with high upside. Next is Jake Bobo. I think Jake Bobo is actually underrated. Again, there's a reason I draft certain guys. Jake Bobo had 7 touchdowns, almost 800 yards, 80 receptions, basically. Really, really good. Wide receiver 3. You got Van Jefferson. You're trading Allen Robinson. You got Cooper Kupp. Add in Jake Bobo, who stays in California. Because I believe UCLA is in Florida. I mean, in California. I mean, unless I'm being dumb. But I mean, you got Jake Bobo. And I think he could be a really solid Ben Skoranek type of player. And you guys can see I'm very high on UCLA players. DTR is going to be in this mock draft as well eventually. But I think Jake Bobo could definitely play that wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 role, or be a really good special teamer. Same with Muhammad Ibrahim. I like Muhammad. I think he's more of a special teamer than an actual running back. And then Sterling Brown, and I don't really know much about him. I saw he had like 10 pass deflections at UAB, and you want anyone that can have their hand on the ball at all times as a corner. Then Aubrey Miller. He actually had a really underrated good season at Jackson State University under Deion Sanders. He's definitely worthy of a pick. It's the 7th round. It's Flyers. I could definitely see why NFL teams would take him, but I also see why NFL teams wouldn't. Give him a chance. It's a 7th round Flyer. You need an inside linebacker backup. Boom, you got him in the 7th round. And then obviously grabbing, in my opinion, the best kicker in this class, and who's been a pretty decent kicker in college, Jake Moody in the 7th round as well as one of the last 5 picks. Giving me a B+. I think they're too low on Jake Bobo. I don't like how low they are on him. I think he's definitely a serviceable starter. A serviceable player. But I mean, maybe the 6th round was a little rich for him. Let me know what you guys think. So at the 49ers, so my idea going with the 49ers is defensive backfield, so like the DBs, and offensive line. So as you can see, my very first pick at 99 overall, I grabbed Jalen Jones out of Texas A&M. Same thing. I love lengthy corners who can play both man and zone, who can play both outside and inside. I love it. I love the versatile players. I don't like he can only play man. He can only play zone. He can only play on the outside. I love versatility, and I think Jalen Jones is that exact mold. I think the 49ers need a starting corner. You got Diamador Lenore as a steal last year. Grab Jalen Jones. He can definitely play for you. Then Luke Schoonmaker. I think Luke Schoonmaker could be a really good backup to George Kittle. I think he has the receiving ability you want in that scheme, and I think he definitely has the upside to be a really good run blocker. I would really enjoy to see him in the 49ers system. Then Dorian Williams. He is a weak side linebacker. He's a will linebacker. The thing is, you got Dre Greenlaw currently at weak side linebacker. But Dre Greenlaw, he signed a 2-year, $16 million extension. But after this season, you can cut him and save $10 million on the cap. For a team that just signed Javon Hargrove to a 4-year, $80 million deal, saving $10 million on the cap to spend somewhere else might be a good idea if you can grab Dorian Williams out of Tulane. And Tulane's been really good the last couple of years. They've produced some really good NFL players. I think Dorian Williams could be another one. Go to weak side linebacker, sit for a year, and then come in next season and start for the 49ers. If they do move off of Dre Greenlaw, like they moved off of Azeez Al-Shaair this year. Then Mekhi Garner, solid slot corner. Nothing. I wouldn't expect too much out of him. He's a 5th round guy. But a guy I would expect is Yaya Diaby. Again, add some pass rush. You got Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, Javon Hargrove, and Nick Bosa. Add some depth now. You got your starters. Add some really solid depth in the later rounds of the draft, and I keep doing that. I think it's a really good idea that they should do. Then I think Luke Haggard could actually start at right tackle. He's got the run blocking prowess, but he could definitely improve more in the pass blocking. But that's the only issue, is that Luke Haggard needs development, and the 49ers have shown they're not really good at development. Mike McGlinchey kind of fizzled out once he started developing. Aaron Banks hasn't developed. You haven't heard any other offensive linemen they've drafted really work, and they traded for Trent Williams, so you can't really count him. Luke Haggard needs development, and I don't know if the 49ers are the team to do it, but they love running the ball, and I think Luke Haggard in the 5th round is a really good option. And then Jake Andrews can start day one. I think he becomes their starting center. 6th round rookie can easily start for them. I love Jake Andrews out of Troy. Really good center. He's a starter. I only worry about his anchor when there's stunts and there's big power rushes down the middle. Like if I saw a Calais Campbell versus Jake Andrews matchup, I'm taking Calais Campbell 10 out of 10 times. But there's a lot of guys I would take Calais Campbell out of for 10 out of 10 times. So it's not a bad thing against Jake Andrews, but I think he's definitely the starting center that they're looking for. Then Cameron Young, I think, again, add some depth to that defensive tackle room. It's a 7th round rookie. It doesn't really matter. Miles Brooks and Jordan Howden, same thing. Add depth, add special teamers. And then one of my sleeper quarterbacks, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. This is a guy who I think would work amazingly with the 49ers. Now, I understand they have Trey Lance, they have Brock Purdy, and they have Sam Darnold now. But Sam Darnold is on a 1-year deal, and Trey Lance is coming off an ACL injury. And Brock Purdy is coming off of an elbow injury. Dorian Thompson-Robinson can run this kind of scheme. Teams that I think DTR should go to are the Seahawks, 49ers, Bears, Giants, Ravens. Like, he is a dual threat quarterback who's shown in college he can run dual threat quarterback roles in the offense. Now, his deep accuracy needs work. His accuracy overall needs some work, but I really like DTR. I think give him in the right scheme, he can easily succeed, and he's not going to be available in the 7th round. He's a 4th round guy. He might go in round 4, maybe even end of round 3. I really like Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and I think teams are really like him in the draft process. B+ overall. I kind of agree. Again, starter in Jalen Jones. Really good backup in Luke Schoonmaker. Really good backup that could potentially start next year in Dorian Williams. Solid slot option. Really good backup. Potential starter, backup, and really high-end backup quarterback. I like this draft. B+, I'm fine with that. Now, final mock draft of the day is the Seattle Seahawks. So, in this mock draft, I decided to trade back from 5 to 8 with the Atlanta Falcons because in this mock draft, number 1 was CJ Stroud, number 2 was Bryce Young, number 3 was Will Anderson, and number 4 was Will Levis. So I'm at number 5 with Anthony Richardson in my hands, and a team that I think would love a mobile quarterback who can throw is the Atlanta Falcons. I don't believe that they are 100% sold on Desmond Ridder, because if they can get Anthony Richardson for a 1st, a 3rd, and a future 2nd, I'm doing it as the Atlanta Falcons. They can throw whatever smoke they want that they're not trading up. I'm taking the risk in Anthony Richardson over the risk in Desmond Ridder. So the Seahawks trade back 3 spots, and the reason they don't get as much as the Cardinals did is because there's only 1 quarterback left on the board, There's not 2 options where you don't know what the Colts are going to take. You got to pay a little bit more. No, it's Anthony Richardson at number 5. Any team's calling him. I think a lot of teams are like, the Seahawks aren't going to take him. We can wait. The Raiders are like, the Seahawks aren't going to take him. We don't think the Lions will take him. We're going to take him at number 7 as the Raiders. But the Falcons shock everyone, trade up. They don't give up another 1st round pick, but they give up their number 8, number 75, and a potentially very high 2nd round pick next year. The Seahawks slide back to 8, and they grab Jalen Carter. This is one of the only teams in the top 10 that I truly believe could take a Jalen Carter and fix him. Now, not fixing him on the field, but fix him off the field. I think they're one of the teams that they can really nurture him, because we've seen the Seahawks do this, especially with defensive linemen, that they take in these forgotten about, problematic off the field guys and turn them into really good NFL players, or at least serviceable NFL players. And they give them second chances. They give them these, hey, we're going to support you in this mental health problem, in this, issues that you're having. We're going to support you, nurture you, and give you an environment of healthiness. And the Seahawks continue to do that with the Jalen Carter, and they bolster the defensive line to be Absolutely amazing with Draymond Jones, Shelby Harris, and Jalen Carter at D-tackle. Then, for some reason at pick 20, I chose Osiris Torrance, but it says Steve Avila, but I chose Osiris Torrance, so imagine it says Osiris Torrance. At number 20, the Seahawks grab Osiris Torrance to start over Phil Haynes at right guard. Osiris Torrance is easily the number 1 guard in this class, number 1 interior lineman, period. And if they can get him at pick 20, that'd be really good. You have a really good offensive line, Abraham Lucas, Charles Cross, left guard Damian Lewis. I believe center is Austin Blythe, but it doesn't matter because you can see I grab a center later on. Then you get Osiris Torrance at right guard. Really good offensive line you're building there. Then at number 37 overall, add some more defensive end help with Felix Enuduke Uzama. In my opinion, the Seahawks' biggest problem last year was defensive line. So keep throwing draft picks at it. Don't stop until you're oversatisfied. Because seriously, as a Browns fan, we have so many good corners, but I want to keep going. You know, in the 5th, 6th round this year, add more corners. Because guess what? You can never not have enough good corners. One injury, and you're doomed. So grab Felix Anudike Uzama, who in my opinion is a fringe first-round pick kind of guy. He's a really good power rusher. He has some speed to him as well. But honestly, I think FAU could absolutely be a first-rounder. Has all the skill to be it. And if they can get him in the 2nd round, just like Andre Carter, as you can see later on Andre Carter, I think they both have shades of Uchenna Nwosu. So if you can grab 2 Uchenna Nwosus for dirt cheap, you don't have to pay Uchenna Nwosu big money anymore. He's making $8 to $12 million for the next 2 seasons on the Seahawks. You don't need him anymore. You have 2 guys that can make up for his production and are very young, can develop into even better kind of players. So Felix Anudike Uzama and Andre Carter, I kind of talked about at the same time. But you grab them both, continue to fix its defense in this pass rush. Because, you know, it hasn't been really good for the last couple of years. Continue to add to this defense. Make it the strong suit of your team, even though you have a powerhouse of an offense. Then, at 52, like I said, you grab Luke Whippler. In my opinion, behind John Franklin Schmitz or something. I can't remember his name. It's John Schmitz from, I know what school he's from. I'm going to blank on what school he's from. But Schmitz from the center. Luke Whippler is number 2 center. You grab him at 52. He starts for you immediately. That means you now have Charles Cross on a rookie deal. Damian Lewis on a rookie deal. Luke Whippler on a rookie deal. Osiris Torrance on a rookie deal. And Abraham Lucas on a rookie deal. Your entire offensive line for the next 4 to 5 years is set in stone. Amazing. Absolutely amazing to have for a young team. Having a really good offensive line all in their rookie deals is exactly what you want. And I really think if they can do this in this draft, they won't have to worry about the offensive line for 4 more years. Then, Jordan Battle at pick 75. A little bit of a reach, but I think Jordan Battle is absolutely worthy of this pick. Yes, Jamal Adams plays the exact same kind of role that Jordan Battle plays. They both are box safeties, linebacker hybrids, who are thumpers. I think Jordan Battle can absolutely be the Jamal Adams replacement, or at least his backup, because he's been injured multiple times since he's been with the Seahawks. Missed all of last season. If you can get a Jordan Battle, let Jamal Adams, you know, ease his way back into the NFL playing speed. Have Jordan Battle play. I really like that pick. Then, like I said, I think DTR goes in the 4th round. I think the Seahawks grab him. DTR is the exact quarterback that the Seahawks want. A mobile quarterback who can throw the ball. They liked it with Russ. They like it with Geno. They're going to like it with DTR. If he can develop under Pete Carroll, he's going to be a really good quarterback. Or a really good high-end backup. No matter what, the Seahawks need that for the future. Drew Lock is back on a 1-year deal, making more than DTR would make in his rookie deal. So I really think the Seahawks can turn him into a starting caliber quarterback, and I have high hopes for DTR if he does go here. Davis Allen is a really good run blocking tight end. He has some pass rushing ability, pass catching ability, but I drafted him more for his run blocking, and I think it's absolutely what you should get. You know, you have, I believe they still have Joe, no, they have Noah Fant, the receiver. Get Davis Allen, the blocking tight end. Then, finally, my guy, Yazir Abdullah. I love Yazir Abdullah. He is a really good speed rusher. I love him so much. In the 5th round as well, completely different mold than Andre Carter and FAU. He's more of that speed rusher. He's not as heavy as those guys. Can absolutely, boom, beat you around, beat these tackles around the edge. You got the thumpers and Andre Carter and FAU. Get the speedster and Yazir Abdullah. I can't wait. If this is the draft class they get, this passage could be scary next year and beyond. Then, Darrell Luter, special teamer. Malik Heath, special teamer. Again, 6th and 7th round is really hard for me. I don't scout that many guys. But again, I think in my opinion, my Seahawks draft is my favorite. I mean, I really like the Cardinals draft, but like the Seahawks get great value, and that's what I absolutely love is value in your draft. But if you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. Again, April 27th, I am streaming the NFL draft. Please come and watch. At 5 p.m. it's going to start, and we're going to watch the entirety of day 1, probably day 2 as well, but day 1 100% for sure. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I hope to see you guys there. Let me know what you guys think is the best mock draft you saw in this video. And honestly, I think I'm going to do the entirety of the NFC West, then the AFC West, NFC East, AFC East. I'm going to do it like that. So AFC West is the next mock draft division. I think my next video is going to be my quarterback rankings for the 2023 NFL draft. So if you guys are excited, please let me know. And I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.